in your closet.
I know.
In your closet.
Calm
and I
down.
told you to get rid of them. I told you to
down.
take these dolls.
Those are
Back
not
to the
dolls.
toy store,
No,
or give them
those
to
are
your niece,
collectible
or whatever
items.
you want to do with
They're
them,
mint
because
in the box.
I can't have the man that
Don't,
I'm living
no,
with
don't!
playing with
Oh,
dolls.
you know how much those are worth? Come on!
Oh.
You-
No,
those are,
I've had enough. Get out.
They're gonna put
Get
our
out.
kids through
I don't ever
college.
want to see your face again.
What? Yeah, fine. I've had it with you too.
You heard me? No.
Hey everybody, my name is TotalNerdStatus, and today I have some Watch Dogs gameplay commentary. This is not live, as you probably already know, but I just got some Watch Dogs gameplay the other day, and it's probably one of my favorite games right now on the PS4, so I just thought I would kind of commentate over it and give my overall opinion and things I like, things I dislike, and things of that nature. So right now, this isn't part of the campaign. This is just, I forget what a gang hideout? Yeah, that's what it's called. Sorry. It's a gang hideout, and I'm just gotta take down this target here, so I'm choosing to do the stealth way. And I'm not gonna lie, this took me a couple of times. I showed the only part where I successfully did it, but it took me a couple of times to do this because I'm just that bad. Normally I'm pretty good aim in this game, but anyway, it's a third-person game, and you already know that. And it's not really a shooter. It's more Grand Theft Auto oriented. Like, it's an open world, and you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can rob banks, you can kill random civilians and stuff, but unlike a GTA, you have a reputation. It's not like once you die, the reputation that you're a civilian again. Even if you die, you will respawn, and your reputation of killing a civilian, or how many civilians, or even a cop, can bring you down to where even if civilians see you in certain circumstances, like passing you down the street or something, they will call the cops because they recognize you, and you can have the cops on you 25/8 if you don't, if you don't do the right things and stop crime and just kill random civilians, then your reputation will be that bad. Me personally, I have mostly been doing just vigilante stuff, so I have my reputation the highest it can go, which is vigilante. And then the other day, I just kind of felt like letting off some steam. I know this sounds completely wrong, but I just went on an annihilation spree and just got the cops on me, and then went on this huge, it was basically Grand Theft Auto, but then it wasn't really worth it in the end, because for the next like 5 hours of gameplay, I had this terrible reputation where the cops would randomly get called on me, and I would have to evade them and stuff until I stopped enough crime to increase my reputation enough to be a vigilante again. So it isn't really worth it unless you plan to stay in Antivist, or I think it's Menace. It's Menace. And if you plan to stay in Menace, the entire time you play Watch Dogs, then that's fine. But if you're like me and are mostly vigilante and you just want to let off some steam, it's not worth letting off some steam, because you will have that reputation until you stop a good 10 crimes, and it's just not worth it. So, anyway, right now, the things I do love about this game is actually the third person. I thought that the third person would be a little bit weird for me, because I'm used to doing, Battlefield and Call of Duty and stuff like that, all first-person games. I've never really done a third-person game other than a little bit of GTA and some Gears of War a little while back. I think it's on my old channel. I don't think I have any Gears of War on this channel. Let me know if you want to see some Gears of War, by the way. I'd love to play that. But, anyway, I love the third person because it just gives that aspect of the world being so much bigger, and I like how they use real money. Like for every crime that you stop, you get a certain amount of money. If you kill the criminal, you won't get as much money. I think you get like half as much money as you would if you would have just tackled him and just knocked him down. I think you get $500 if you stop him without killing him, and only $250 if you, actually kill him. So I think that's kind of cool. It rewards you for being a vigilante and not just some killer. And the more money you have, you can actually go to a gun shop and buy guns and ammunition, and it's very realistic in that aspect, where you don't unlock your weapons. You actually go and buy them yourself. And I actually like how the campaign, you don't necessarily have to immediately do the campaign. It's not like the campaign is in one world, and then the open world, the multiplayer, I guess, is in a completely different world. It's all in the same exact world. You have to do the first mission in order to get like an achievement to do basic things, like I forget. You have to you have to do the first mission just basically because it's the first mission. That's what starts you off of. But anyway, once that guy just blew himself up with a grenade. I don't know how he managed to do that. But anyway, so you have to do the first mission, but after that, you don't have to do the campaign at all if you don't want to. It's just on your map. It appears as this like on the minimap you see. Well, not right now, but once I get back to... Okay, on the minimap you see that little yellow X diamond-like mark at the top of the minimap. That's the campaign. And I could take a vehicle and drive to it, or just walk to it and go up to it and start the rest of the campaign. And it goes mission by mission, so after one mission's done, you don't have to immediately go to the next mission. It'll just show you where the next mission is based, and then you can choose whether or not to go to that. So I would do maybe the first 5 or so missions, and then I would take a break and just kind of explore the open world and get the city hotspots like this, and hack a couple of people's phones, get some money in my bank account. And I originally had $2.5 million, but then I restarted the whole game just because because I beat the campaign, and the open world just wasn't that exciting to me, just because I had already done all of the gang hideouts and all of the criminal convoys, and those were my 2 favorite things to do, and I wasn't really that much into fixer contracts. So once I had those things done, it wasn't that exciting to me, so I just started a whole new account, not account, a whole new guy, and I did maybe the first 3 missions, and now I'm just kind of exploring the open world, which is what you're seeing now. And I'm about to stop a crime. That's one of my favorite things to do in this game, is just to stop a random crime. I've had a couple of hilarious instances, where I would stop a crime, and then right after stopping the crime, I would walk like maybe 50 feet, sometimes even 10 feet, like away from where I just stopped the crime, and then another crime would immediately happen, and you'd have one of those instances where somebody would randomly whip out a gun on somebody else, like right in front of you, and say, "Hey, we've been looking for you," or something menacing like that, and then they would start shooting the gun, and it would not warn you. It wouldn't look on your phone for potential crimes. It just kind of happens, and it's very realistic in that sense, and I like that a lot, because you don't know when or how it's going to happen. You just have to be ready. And of course, it gives you a lot of crime like this that's predicted, so you just go up to the crime and you have to stop it in the time that it happens. But there's a lot of crime that happens without being detected, that just, like I just said, it happens randomly, where someone pulls out a gun on somebody else, and you really need to be there in that situation with it happening to be able to react, or else it's just going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it. So I like how it's very realistic in that sense. And like I said, you don't have to do the campaign at all. After you do the first mission, you can just completely roam the open world, and there's tons of stuff to do. This world is huge. I wish I could compare it to GTA 5. I think it's, according to the GTA 5 map, compared to it, I mean, it's probably about half the size, maybe a little bit bigger than the city part, which might seem small to GTA 5 people. If you're just completely obsessed with that game, it might seem small, and I don't even know if that measurement is right. I mean, don't quote me on that, but that's just what I remember, and I haven't played it in a good week. This is old footage that you're watching right now, but it's a pretty big map, and it has different parts. It has the main city part, and then it has offset parts like what you're seeing now, that where more crime happens more often. So if you're looking to boost up your reputation, then you would go in those places to stop as much crime as you can. And it has a lot of stuff if you're not looking for stopping crime or anything. If you just want to explore, that's always fun, because you can just walk or run up and down the streets and have your profiler up and look at random people's what they're called, profiles. Wow, cannot think of that word, even though I just said it. I mean, some people are weird. I mean, I had one person who was HIV positive, and their occupation, they were a blood donor. So that's, I mean, you know, it's just funny little things like that they put into the game. That's kind of fun to, like, explore the open world. And the weather changes. Like, right now you can see that it's raining, and it's just cool how the weather changes. Like, it goes from night to day. I think I timed it one time. It's 10 minutes of day and 10 minutes of night, so that's how often it changes, which actually feels like a long time. You know, it's not every so often. It's not like every 2 minutes and then it's night again. It actually has a good amount of time of day and night to where you can get a lot done in both instances. And it has a lot of things like I'm doing right now, like gang hideouts. There's a gang hideout like maybe every mile or so, and then there's also criminal convoys. Gang hideouts here are what the past 2 gameplays that you've been watching of me. It's basically just me. You go into this hideout of a gang, and you either, depending on the mission, it can have you just eliminate everyone in that area, or have you profile a target and identify a target and just knock down him but kill everyone else. But you can always choose what you want to do, because even if it's knocking down one person, once that person is knocked down, you can choose to either stay and kill everyone else in the gang, or you can just choose to ditch and just get out of their sight, and then you win the mission there as well. And this probably wasn't the best idea on my part. I decided to face everyone in the gang because they're all uphill, and it just wasn't a very good choice. I mean, I literally almost died maybe twice in this one scenario, and I got so scared because I hate starting over in these gang hideouts. But and then criminal convoys are probably my favorite, because basically you identify a group of criminals who are in vehicles, and then it shows you a track that they're on, that they would go, like the routes that vehicle or those vehicles will take to get to their destination, and you basically have to cut the vehicles off and either eliminate everyone or knock down a certain target and eliminate everyone else. And so that's Criminal Convoy. Those are my 2 basic favorites, just because not because they're the easiest, but just because they're probably the most where gunfire is needed. They also have fixer contracts, which, to my knowledge, I've only done maybe a couple of them. And basically, the couple that I've done, you have to pick up a guy, like some most wanted guy on the news, and you have to transport him safely to his group hideout or something. That's just the fixer contracts that I've done. I don't really know. I'm not that much into fixer contracts because I'm not that much of a vehicle guy. I like to be on foot and, you know, face to face in a firefight. That's the kind of guy I am. And you can always, it's just like GTA in the fact that you can always steal somebody's vehicle, but if you have a bad reputation, like right now we're walking into a gun shop, I can threaten this owner. Like, watch, it says down at the bottom left of the screen, I can press L2 to threaten. And so I can hold my gun up to him and I can even kill him, but that will hurt my reputation a lot, so I don't want to do that. And you can also hack music around you, like that music box over there that I'm changing to. I want to get to a specific song, so I just keep hacking it until it gets to the song I want, which I believe is Cold Night in Chicago. That's just, I love that song on the soundtrack of Watch Dogs. It's probably one of my favorites. And then you can go around and steal people's cars, like I said, but depending on your reputation, they could just let it happen, or they could immediately get on their cell phone and call the cops. So you either have to run them over or get out of your vehicle and take the phone out of their hands and throw it on the ground so that they don't, end up calling the cops on you. You can always jam the radar, like right now in the bottom left. See, that guy behind me is calling the cops. He was, but I used my jam radar, which is selected in the bottom left, which basically you press R1 on PlayStation and it just jams all cell phone frequencies and everything like that, so nobody can call the cops around you. And it doesn't always work because there's always multiple people online, and there's always going to be that one guy who gets through, so don't work on that. Don't rely on that 100% of the time. I'm using my gold Desert Eagle right now. I love this thing. It's one-shot kill wherever you shoot them. It's so powerful. But and then you also have Blackout, which you probably saw when I was switching to the weapon, which was lower left, I believe. You press that, and then it blackouts. It blackouts the entire city for blocks or wherever you are. It blacks out all electricity, and it's so cool. It's getting away from the cops. That's what it really helps with, because you can be completely surrounded by the police. And if it's nighttime, it doesn't really work in the day because, you know, there's the sun now, that's sunlight. But if you're in a sticky situation during the night, and the cops are, like, you know, surrounding you, just press Blackout, and then they'll be completely blind, because especially if you're in the city where there's nothing but light, then they'll just get completely confused, and that's your chance to just run. And then once you get far enough away out of their sight, then it'll give you this white circle area that you can get out of, and then there's that. And then you go, and then once you pass that white circle, then the cops will stop looking for you. And right now you can go into these crafting shops and buy electronic parts to help you build more jam radars and blackouts and chemical components for grenades and IEDs and stuff like that. So then you can also sell items, like when you steal a car, then you'll automatically look in the glove box and find like a really expensive necklace or something like that that you can always sell in these shops throughout the map to get more money. And I love this game. Everybody said that it didn't really live up to the hype. I don't remember one review on the internet saying that it lived up to all the hype, but I completely love this game. I love the open world. I love how much detail they put into it. I like how much detail they put into the guns and the gun shops, and how you can hack the simplest things like traffic lights, and how you can get on top of vehicles like this. And it's just, I love this game so much, and I'm probably the only person that really does. You guys can let me know what you think, but I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. And anyway, that's my kind of review and opinion on it, and thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.